Check. 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 This. Check. 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 This.
So good evening, everyone. Good evening. So we are starting the 7th annual general meeting. We have the necessary quorum to start with. So I will request Mr. J. Subramaniam to give the welcome address.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Request all people to take the seats, please. Can you please take your seats? We'll be grateful. Thank you. So, dear members, good evening and a very warm welcome to the 7th AGM of our association. I'm indeed heartened to note so many people are physically present out here, and it only goes to show that we are all committed towards this AQUALILY and its betterment. And we all know that our association, like any other association, has evolved over a period of time, and there is a constant evolution. And this evolution has happened with healthy debates, discussions, deliberations, and meaningful contributions from all the members, and also creating an ecosystem with which the association works. You really don't have to dwell deep on it, but we know it. Now, today is a big opportunity for all of us to participate in this meeting, where we can have candid and transparent conversation, discussions, and also voice and express our opinions. And above all, we'll be able to give meaningful suggestions for the way forward. The idea is to forge ahead with AQUALILY as one single family. Now, needless to say, when you have this kind of a forum, there is also a protocol which we need to observe, and all of us know that protocol, that it's important to keep that in mind when we participate in these deliberations. Really don't have to emphasize on that. Hoping that it will be a spirit of collaborative effort and clear cooperation, I expect this meeting governments. I also would like to assure on behalf of the EC that we are here to answer all your valid and genuine concerns, questions, and we will try our best to answer those. With this, I once again welcome all of you to this meeting and sincerely thank you for participating in this meeting. Now I would request our Honorable President to start the proceedings and conduct the meeting. Thank you very much.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The first one agenda is that basically we have to confirm the minutes of the last AGM that has happened on 30th October 2022, and we hereby confirm this particular the minutes of those last AGM 2022 that have happened. So, this is the first agenda of this particular 7th annual general meeting. So, we hereby confirm that minutes of the last AGM meeting. So, let me start with my address. First of all, I want to thank you for gathering here for the 7th annual general meeting. Your presence is greatly appreciated, and I would like to express gratitude to all attendees, including those who have dedicated their time and efforts to the common good without expecting anything in return. So today we have the necessary quorum to start this meeting. And firstly, I want to extend my sincere gratitude to the past and present members of the Executive Committee, Zonal Committee, and various other committees, as well as the founding members of our society. Their contributions have paved the way for our existence today. Before joining the EC, I was merely a resident, not fully aware of the intricacies around me. However, upon joining, I realized that the tremendous amount of work undertaken by our founding office bearers, the well-drafted bylaws, and efficient administrative processes they have established have been crucial in maintaining the overall records of this association, and which helped us to basically to supporting many of those queries and questions that have been asked and the actions we have taken on those things. Also, I stepped into the shoes of the President along with Ram, Secretary, in the month of September 2023 only. This position, I would say, like it was bestowed on me and Ram as well, because we don't want the association to be headless at that point of time, regardless of the priorities we have personally. Thank you, Ram, for showing that support to the common good of the citizens. One thing I will generally, this I want to express it. See, this is the position is I would say it's a pro bono position. I mean, we don't, I just leave it at that point, at that. Basically, I have classified this whole speech into sections, basically, just to be very clear about what we are talking and all those things. So now I will get into the section called feedback. So we have different levels of feedbacks, mails, publications, about the current TC. Of course, we also get a lot of titles, such as they are incompetent, they are inexperienced, they are egoistic, arrogant, useless, and also recently I got another title, they are cutting Raja. I can pause here, so if anybody wants to add anything, I can wait for that. Yeah. So while opinions are welcome, it is very crucial to acknowledge the valuable time and effort our volunteers invest for the society's betterment. This I keep saying it. Like irrespective of the opinions, what we have, we might have done something wrong, we might have done something good. Forget about all those stuff. The time, of course, we have all the past office bearers, and then I could see that's also there. So the time they have spent in bringing it up, that you cannot equate time with money. The kind of work they have done for this particular association. So criticism, especially anonymous emails without a face, doesn't contribute positively. Constructive feedback is encouraged, but we must appreciate the dedication of those who step up to take those responsibilities. In spite of all these things, people have come up forward and then taking these responsibilities. I expect the members to be the part of the solution rather than the problems. Now, let me come to the point of election. I am very happy that we are pleased to witness increased participation of contestants in the election. Very healthy, positive sign for community improvement, because we always keep complaining like, we don't get volunteers, we don't do this. People are not coming forward and taking the responsibilities and all. My request is, of course, now the election officer will come and declare his results, but all the contestants is, please keep engaged in the community development regardless of election outcomes. At least you come forward for fighting an election, that itself is a great positive sign. This gives us confidence that larger participation will make us a more healthy and vibrant community. Now, I'll go to the next section, is bylaws. Again, I keep giving this credit. I want to give the credit to the founding of the office bearers of our association, having created a wonderful document explaining every aspect of our day-to-day activities. Bylaws are generally continuing to evolve over a period of time because we see new situations, so we need to keep us based on those new situations. Recently, we have the new apartment rule is getting notified. Of course, we need to comply with those directions. I am sure that the bylaw committee formed earlier would be able to comply with those directions within the time frame as probably required by the rules. Of course, I have seen some of the forum, some of the violations they talked about. Basically, they talked about AGM conduct. It's not aligned with the bylaw. Of course, I can assure you this is exactly aligned with the bylaw, because which we have already explained in one of our EC meeting minutes also. Another important thing is another point that came to people basically talked to me, wrote to me, asking me. So there are some office bearers who are co-opted. Is there a bylaw violation, like if co-opted member cannot be an office bearer? I have not seen any such rule in the bylaw. So anybody who is in the EC, they can be an office bearer, irrespective of whether they are co-opted or nominated or elected. That's it. So what I'm trying to say is, and another important aspect which I want to highlight here is the bylaw mechanism, is wonderful mechanism of rotating the one-third of the members every year, so that we bring new faces and new talent into the administration of the society. But there are two things which I observed, but I just wanted to share it with you. There is no provision in the bylaws regarding minimum attendance in the EC meetings by the EC members. I think some point of time we should consider bringing this up, because this will improve the discipline and participation. Of course, today we do, during COVID and post-COVID also, we do conduct EC meetings over Teams meeting or a Google Meet and all, but still we don't have a framework that this is how the online meetings will work. We don't have a framework. Probably the next easy whatever the composition of people, and whenever the bylaw committee is reviewing these things, they can always look into these aspects and then amend the bylaws. Another important thing which I wanted to talk about is, sorry, I'm taking a little more time. Sorry, I just quickly. The platform. Generally, this is again another aspect where I have to make a complaint. Where I have to do these things. So, generally, if you look at it, when you have a problem within your own unit, you can always go and raise a ticket in NADA. Suppose you have a problem with your zone, I think it is very important, you approach the zonal representative, and also you can raise a ticket in NADA also, that's fine. But it's important that the zonal representative is taken care of, because the structure of the whole association is, we have a zonal committee, we have a EC, and then there are various committees are there. The other committee is there, bylaw committee is there, legal committee is there, so many committees are formed. You have a complaints affecting AQUALILY, you can always raise a AQUALILY. You concerned about something is not happening on the main road, something is having a problem on the main road, you can always approach an easy representative, and also you can raise a ticket in the ADA. So actually, in fact, this is one of my, of course, the next easy will take a call on that. We wanted to conduct a program of members make themselves available for a certain period in a day, probably once in a quarter, where residents, so we publish we are available at this point of time, at least out of 15 EC members, either 2, 3 or somebody will be available. So in a quarterly basis, we do that, so people can come forward and raise their tickets or basically any problem they face in the society. And also one more thing, we also want to bring, of course, we have got transparent, but still more transparency. So, in fact, I wanted the members, encourage them to basically to visit our office. Notice. Only thing is you need to give us a notice of something, and then for any inspection of any records that are available. Already there are some people who have come forward and then inspected and they've taken the printouts of some of these things. We always welcome. People come forward, work with us and take it. Because asking questions is putting burden on our time and everything. You can always come forward and take those records. And also, this is quite frequently we have talked about internal audit and all. This is again, I have seen in one of the PCC meetings also this subject was there. But because of non-participation of some of the volunteers, or we need to seek for volunteers, I think it is better we have a committee of internal auditors from across all zones, so that they will be able to look into the records and then point out any inefficiencies or deficiencies in the entire system. Yeah. So, in fact, recently after this AGM notice has been sent and audit report has been sent, in fact, we called for all the zonal members, secretaries, for their view on the annual report, if they have any queries, and many of them, they came in and then we answered them, people who were present, and we answered them then and there. Of course, some of them, they have sent mails which we are yet to answer, and because, see, we are all engaged with our personal life as well as doing this work also, so collecting that records and then giving it in a meaningful way, that is very important for us. So we were probably once the AGM, we were all busy in the last 10 days, so we wanted to do it once the AGM gets over. We will also publish that particular queries that we received over emails. So now I just want to add one more point here that, of course, we are seeing that new block is coming up, so we will have more addition of members, and also the existing assets are too old in the sense almost for last 10 years or so, we have been using those assets, it is, so that could be a increase in those maintenance activities. Of course, the new building is coming and they have to get aligned along with our association. That is another important aspect. So we expect that. And one last and not the least, very important discussion which we need to do is about the I just wanted to address this MRDL discussions. Actually, I have initiated a communication with the past and present office bearers sometimes in the beginning of November, and it was felt that we need to have a forum for more members from all zones who can probably advise the EC and related committee on those matters. Probably the next EC meeting or one of those EC meetings, we will probably take a call and then announce them. And I require more participation from all of you. I mean, you can bring in your neighbors or friends or whoever is staying close by whom you know, so that otherwise we only those 15, 20, 30, 40 people only are working towards for the betterment of the association. So thanks for your time, and let's work together for the betterment of our society. I know some of them, most of the people who walk into this, they go on a walk and all. So I wanted to say hello to them, every one of them. Not, I don't want to throw my face on the other side. That's very important for us. So we have to show that bonhomie within ourselves. We are living as a community, as a family. We should be, we have so many friends, and let's show that spirit and then move ahead. So now I leave the stage, Mr. Ram, to Secretary to provide the updates.
No, I need to hide the slideshow. Slideshow எடுத்துக்கணும் இல்லை கரெக்ட் பண்ணணும் பட் ஐ வாண்ட் ரிமூவ் த slideshow the comment section இல்லை ஒரு நிமிஷம் இருங்க I want to remove this section இது பாருங்க Fine.
Now it's coming.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for coming on a Sunday evening. I'll quickly move on to the Secretary's presentation of summing up what the association has done over the past year or so. I'll start with the MRD and rectification works. One of the major activities that the association has done over the past 12-18 months has been working with MRDL to rectify some of the construction flaws that have been happening. It started with the D-block seepage work, where we have addressed the primarily we addressed the bathroom shaft seepage rectification. There was a concealed pipeline along the master bedroom balcony, so that was removed, and seepage because of that was rectified. The D-block planter boxes was causing a lot of seepage for the ground floor apartments, so we worked with MRDL to remove that. Water was getting into the lift when it was raining, so we put some granite in there as a step so that the water doesn't drain into the lifts. We are also working with the MRDL to address cracks in terraces. There are wall cracks that are there on the external wall. D block, if you go to the D block basement, you will see there is water seepage everywhere. So what we did was we hired an external consultant. We looked at all these issues in detail. He has given a report. We have approached MRDL to rectify all these construction flaws, and they have agreed to do that. So this would be done. This is expected to be done in the next 12 to 18 months. Especially this terrace cracks, external wall cracks, and basement water terrace cracks and external wall cracks will be addressed for C block also. So the same consultant was appointed, and he basically looked at both C and D blocks, and he has given his report, which we have submitted to MRDL, and MRDL has agreed to look into both. C block bison boards issue is something that we are discussing that needs to be fixed. MRDL has agreed to fix that as well. The other project that we worked on was, E block. The sonar. They were entitled for a solar panel. The installation of the solar panels in all 3 block towers has been done, and there are also seepage and other rectification work which were, since E block is still under DLP, that work has also been done over this period. There was also a safety net that was installed in all blocks across all the 4 blocks. So these are the major rectification works that we worked with MRDL and completed. PPC work has, we did, the PPC team discussed and had brought in some process changes during the course of the year. What PPC has decided and advised us was, to have a digital asset inventory. Basically have all the assets numbered so that, when they are, when they go out for, maintenance and come back, we have a kind of a history of which asset was attended to and when. So this is currently being worked on. Inventory of critical spares is another recent suggestion by in the PPC, where where critical parts, it was decided that critical parts which would take time to buy and install. So we thought we'll have an inventory of those parts so that there is the turnaround time from complaint to addressing that complaint is minimized. So that is another process change that the PPC team has worked on. So on major purchases, there was a documentation missing. Like every time we do some major purchases, the purchase process had to be redone. Like since the beginning, and this was costing some time. So extensive documentation of purchases is another work that PPC has done, so that the next so the next time purchase of that nature comes up, the turnaround time is less. So these are the process changes that the PPC has suggested. Completed projects. So we worked with the EB, on the transformer yards and EB poles outside AQUALILY. One of the main reasons for the voltage fluctuations and disruptions is the poor maintenance of the transformer yards within AQUALILY. So we worked with the EB department to make some upgradation, and this is an ongoing work, as you know. So this is something that we have taken up. Some of the EB poles outside AQUALILY was another reason for unstable supply. So we got this EB pole changed about 2 months back, and after that we have had, the disruptions in power has kind of largely come down. Major AMC contracts as well, for DGs, we got into a contract with the Mahindra Powerall. Mahindra usually doesn't come in for smaller DGs, they kind of accepted ours. Boom barrier with the DACAM systems, that's another big thing. Like, since we went into maintenance contract with with DACAM systems, the boom barrier issues have largely come down. So these are 2 major AMC contracts that we have worked on. There was the main gate roof was cracked, and there was water seeping in, making it very difficult for the security to do their work. So that was repaired like 8-10 months back. Villa Clubhouse renovations, quite a few work has been completed there as well. PPC work in progress. We have initiated the process of installing cameras in C block. We are installing about 58 cameras at a cost of rupees 7.23 lakhs. This includes 8 cameras per building for 6 buildings and 10 cameras for the common areas, and the work is expected to be complete over the next 1 week. We considered installing cameras at every floor entrance as well as the location of the fire hoses, 2 per floor. So about additional 14 cameras per building, but because of cost constraints, we would take a look at this as a phase 1 and see how this helps, and then if additional cameras need to be done, that would be taken up phase 2. Taking these, we will also be installing cameras in zone 2, zone 3, and zone 5 after C block is completed. We are also planning to have separate room with multiple TV screens where all these cameras are monitored 24/7. Another major project that the team worked on is still in progress, but you will see that soon completed, is the kids play area. There is a reason why it has taken a long time to get this done. What we have today is something called EPDM. This is not suitable for outdoors. We had many meetings and officers discussed and finalized in those 2 meetings with the, we also, Mohan worked on this project extensively. A parents meeting also was called, and we discussed all these options: EPDM, interlocking rubber tiles, PPT tiles, artificial grass, and sand, even sand. We discussed the option of having sand in those areas. Overwhelming choice of parents and PPC team was interlocking rubber tiles. The total cost around 10 lakhs is arrived through quotations. July to August, we had multiple vendors. Material cost of rubber tiles is material cost of rubber tiles is alone about 7.25 lakhs. We have reached out to people to if they have any contacts, they can always bring in. If we could reduce these contacts. And then there was one new quote which, so while we were finalizing this, there was one new quote we received from a Delhi manufacturer for about 3.5 lakhs for the rubber tiles. This is cutting the cost of that material by more than 50%. This came in September-October period 2023. But the problem is we need to validate, do our due diligence of the manufacturer direct. If we are getting something directly from the manufacturer, we need to do a due diligence. So that process has also contributed to the delay in this project. And the project also needs 2 to 3 weeks of rain-free conditions. So this is still in the process of ascertaining the reliability of Delhi manufacturer requested, discussion with local distributors going on. Tentatively planned execution is about in the first quarter of 2024 with interlocking rubber tiles. That's work done by PPC at a high level. Next is the garden committee. We have I think every AGM, all our office bearers have highlighted the contribution made by garden committee. We live in a very green environment, and a lot of credit should go to the garden committee. Over this period, a new work schedule was drafted by the garden committee and is being followed for a regular mission work and garden work in all zones. Termite treatment of trees and organic manure for plants and trees are used in regular cycles to all zones. There is new propagation of new plants in Central Park, Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4, Zone 5, in all these specific areas. And the propagation, and it is all done in a very cost-effective manner. A lot of these plants, or almost all of them, are propagated within AQUALILY. So the cost almost is 0 or negligible. One more work that the garden committee had done was, once the planter box was taken away, there was a lot of soil that could have been used. So they took ownership of that, distributed it initially around D block to ensure that the sand is not wasted. Then we sought requests from other blocks if they needed that, and the sand has been distributed among rest, and the rest have been left out. Cultural committee, another excellent committee that is doing its work. We had Ganesh Chaturthi, Women's Day, Christmas, Navratri, Diwali, Onam, Independence Day kind of stuff. You could see pictures. They always bring the people, community in a very harmonious way, and the cultural committee deserves a lot of appreciation for that. So, defaulters progress, we have made over a period of time, over the last couple of years, you would have always seen this presentation, the trend has continued. We have largely reduced it from about 14.31 lakhs to 13 lakhs. Number of defaulters has, number of defaulters, though number have gone up, the actual value has kind of come down. System more or less on an autopilot for the last 6 months with very little intervention from EC and ZC. Even though the sum looks large, 2 of the 51 defaulters contribute about 8.32 lakhs. That's about 58% of the defaulter of the entire amount is by 2. There is zone 1 defaulter with 3.31 lakhs and zone 2 foreclosed unit with about 5.19 lakhs. The zone 1 foreclosed unit was sold last year, thanks to Suresh sir. Working with India Bulls to do something similar to zone 2 unit may take another 6 to 12 months to retain that. Bottom 45 of the 51 defaulters contribute about 3.8 lakhs with an average of little more than 8,500. It's still a concern, but it's still a very manageable number. During the course of this year, we also addressed several cases that were filed against AQHOA. I'll request JS sir to give an overview of those. Okay.
Thanks, Ram. This is again another area which I think one might not like to discuss, but having said, it is important for us to understand as to how much of time has been spent by the association on this, which we'll only expect that going forward this is avoided. There are 3 actually sets of court cases which the association has handled, and one is of course the Boomberry case. I will not go into the details of it, but as you might see, against all the adjournments, the judgment was subsequently pronounced in 18th of July, and one could see the efforts and this time which the association has spent on this. The second one, of course, is still awaiting judgment. And the third one, again, we don't want to deliberate and go beyond a point of telling that a lot of effort had to go to answer all those sets of complaints, 150-page response with all the annexures, and going right from 2018 onwards, tracing each and every document. And it was a marathon 6-hour session with the registrar sitting out here, asking all the questions and noting down the answers, and subsequent to that, we had to submit the responses. The idea is that I think the President also said, and we are also again reiterating, that it is always better to have these discussions and then settle it across. And then going forward, if one could avoid, then the association is also not burdened, one, with the time which is spent. It could have been productively spent elsewhere. Quite a few of us had to spend time. So I would not like to go into it other than stating that let's go forward and look at this a closed chapter and take it forward from here. I don't have anything else, Ram. You can take over. Thank you.
Yeah, so there are also a couple of issues that we faced. In January 2023, we kind of had a list of 10 plus issues related to motors, fire pumps, pressure gauge, control panels, maintenance of these, vibration, pressure switches, alarm panel, leakage, and other issues. So what we have done is, to address this, we have hired a we have hired an assistant manager with skills in automation and control panel systems. We have recruited an additional fire safety guard and identification of a knowledgeable vendor. We are working with the National Institute of Fire Safety, who is advising us on these issues. Over the last year, we have also highlighted, if you look at the minutes of meetings, there has been coupling thefts that have been happening. Basically, handyman is going to be paying for the stolen coupling as part of its contract. One change that we are suggesting is, to go for gunmetal couplings have been to replace the stainless steel. Replace gunmetal couplings have been replaced by stainless steel couplings all over India, primarily because of theft reasons. The scrap value of stainless, people steal the couplings for their scrap values. They go sell it for 500 and use it for whatever reasons it be. So one way to discourage that is to replace them with stainless steel couples. This is a stainless steel couplings. This is something that has been done across residential societies. So we will also be doing that going forward. In terms of performance, both are equally good. Stainless steel being lighter is easier to handle as compared to gunmetal version. This transition has happened in the industry over the last 5+ years. Most builders predominantly recommend stainless steel couplings. The police have stated that till we fit cameras, at least to cover the entry points, they cannot do any serious investigation into the matter. We raised a complaint. They came here, took fingerprints, but nothing substantial emerged from that. Handyman also has indicated that in the new contract to be signed, they cannot be held responsible for these thefts if we do not fit the cameras. So, camera installation is a solution that we are suggesting, and due to regulatory reasons, we cannot fix anything other than a simple lock on these firehouse boxes. So, these are some of the constraints that we have been facing. Solutions, installing cameras across AQUALILY has to be the solution for not just coupling theft but theft across to reduce it. That is what the police officials have also advised us. Additional security guards is an interim solution. Zones have earlier requested for dedicated security and turned down the idea when they understood the cost implications. Police have also indicated that they have very high attrition rate in the industry. Additional security guards is not a very ideal way to get production. Technology offers a better way forward. So that's the solution that we will be working and going ahead. Thank you. Next, I request our treasurer to make her presentation.
இதெல்லாம் எதுக்கு இங்கே இருக்கு? இதெல்லாம் எதுக்கு இங்கே இருக்கு? ஓ, ஏஜிஎம்ல. ஓகே, வரல. இங்கே இருக்கு, இங்கே இருக்கு.
கட் பண்ணி This one or the other one?
election results.
She had 2 documents, signed
இது
financials.
இது ரெண்டும் அதுவும் ஃபினான்ஷியல் ப்ரெசன்டேஷன். இதை ரிமூவ் பண்ணிவிடுங்க. இது இது வேணாம், அது வேண்டாம். அஜெண்டா ஓகே. இன்னொன்று போங்க அங்கே போங்க. இது ஒன்லி தோஸ் டூ. அந்த 2 ஃபைல் தான்.
These 2 files. These 2, this one and this one.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janet, and I'm the association treasurer. I've become the member of this executive committee since last May, and I was elected as the treasurer by the then prevailing executive committee, where Mr. Ramesh Kumar was the president. I'm happy to see him here. And Mr. Shanmuganathan was the secretary, and he is also here. I'm happy to see him. And Mr. Balakrishnan was the treasurer. It's so nice to see everyone who was there. The treasury was handed over to me by Mr. Balakrishnan. Though I am not a chartered accountant by profession, since the executive committee had faith in me, I took over it. And that's been a challenging job, and I've been very happy doing it till now. Again, today's presentation, I never expected that I'll be doing, but again, it came up like you present, and I just came off. Okay. Talking of what is the role of a treasurer when it comes into an association? If someone can tell me, who becomes the treasurer? The role of a treasurer in a homeowners association, or say any department. No, no, sir. Yeah. Okay. No, not a question answer session. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Okay, let me tell you. I was told by one of our own AC members that the treasurer becomes the gate for any expense or spend. Okay, so having been into research field, I was able to do that very well. And my one role which was passed on to me from Balakrishnan sir was, Janet, the filing is horrible, do it. And I was able to do it meticulously, and it's all presented, I think. Ma'am did that. Okay. And then regarding the accounts part, the financials were already shared with everyone, and I hope you all have seen it. Okay? Let's go on. I think the screen is on, and you're all able to see where our spend is, where our income comes, and where our expenses. It is given cost head-wise. Maybe I will not go much into the numbers because it's all known to us. As a treasurer, I always wanted to see that our money is spent worth, we had value to the spend. And also always do good to the members. Now, when you take the first part, 91% of our income comes from the members, which is the maintenance money, and there is added our penalty also. In that, I just want to stress out one point. don't know. Okay. So I always felt, though penalty is an income to the association, uh, we should be in a position where the penalty collection is very less. Is it seen? Okay.
No, it's a PDF file. I think only if it's a PPT.
Ma'am? I don't know.
PDF, no? It is getting connected. And the zoom in ஆகி போகுது. இது அப்படியே ஸ்க்ரீன் பிரிண்ட் பண்ணி பிபிடியில் போட்டு விடலாமா? போட்டு விடுங்க. ஸ்க்ரீன் பிரிண்ட் பண்ணிடுங்க. ஒரு பிபிடி ஓப்பன் பண்ணி போட்டு விடுங்க. இங்கே ஆமாம், அது ஜூம் இன் ஆகி வருது. இல்லை இப்போ ஸ்க்ரீன் வருதா? இது ஸ்க்ரீன் பிரிண்ட் போட்டு
Okay.
இல்லை வர மாட்டேங்குது.
No, you can't.
ஓப்பன் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கோம். ஆனால் மானிட்டர் தான் வருது. ஓகே, இப்போ போய் ஃபைலுக்கு போங்க. சூப்பர்.
Okay.
Scroll, okay, because I made it bigger. You have to scroll probably when you're showing.
But I will not go into that. Okay. So we will start. I'm sorry. The first part, as I already told you, the total income for this year is 4 crores 21 and 90,043. The expense part is balanced as a chart. Okay? You are not able to see? Sorry, I will do it. You will do it.
Here.
அது குறைக்கிறீங்க நீங்கள் வந்துடுங்க.
No, no, you give.
No, it's okay.
Proceed.
No, no, it's okay. Yeah.
No, I'll be with you.
No, no, not a problem. I would like to call President Srinivasan. You can take over. It looks like there is some issue in the file. Okay. Yeah.
So basically, we did a variance analysis, which is normally we do to present to the members with reference to the previous years. So that's what we have put it and put the reasons also. Basically, if you look at it, of course, the maintenance charges constitute 91% of the total income for us. And the other major one is interest from fixed deposits, which is almost close to 8% out of. So we are annually we are making, we collect somewhere around 4 crores, 4.21 crores, 4.22 approximately, I can say. So there are some increases in some of these income heads. That's the reasons also we have put it across. Like, we have recently, a long time back, we have introduced lift usage charges and multipurpose hall booking and all those income. And when you look at the expenses side, we have when you look at it, like, there's an increase. Wherever there is an increase, we have given some explanations. For example, staff salaries, there are some increments which we paid comparing to the previous years. It has increased. And FM vendor charges. Say FM vendor charges is another, almost 1/3 of our expenses constitute the facility management vendor charges. And of course, repairs and maintenance, it's currently it is 10.1% of our total expenses. I think over a period of time, this will go up because of assets are getting aged over a period of time. So probably we will be spending more money on those things. And elevator maintenance charges, there is an increase. And by the way, the electricity charges is another area where TNEB has increased the charges based on that. Because of that, there is an increase in that. And water purchased. So almost this is occupancy increase and water top up to villa, clubhouse, swimming pool and daily operations. It started in August 2022. So there is a water consumption there. And one important aspect I wanted to tell you, like, the rates and taxes. Of course, one of our zonal members asked this question also about it. Like, so for comparison purposes, last year in 21-22, in the system which we were accounting system, we included the GST also in the respective accounting heads. I could see a lot of chartered accountants are there. They will understand. Like, so the GST is also added along with the expenses. Whereas in 22-23, because we don't have much GST which we are collecting from since it has to be adjusted against that can be adjusted against the input, but we don't have an output GST. That's why, so for comparison purposes, I have added basically to the respective GST expenses set, so that we need to compare it apple to apple, not like, otherwise the auditor has this year, he has segregated all the GST input separately into an account called rates and taxes. And if you look at the balance sheet, like, it will be separate. In the P&L, it will be shown as a rates and taxes set. Of course, for doing comparison, I have redistributed it. That's the only point here. And rest of the things are, we have, of course, professional charges. We took an intern person. Pardon? Oh, it's not. Oh, okay, sorry. Madhurila. Sorry. So rates and taxes had got that, because of that, we have got a variance, so that's why I redistributed it across all the expenses. And I think professional charges, there is some, we had an intern person, so to migrated the entire access stuff to Tally, because Tally migration is another big discussion. We had multiple discussions, we had easy meetings, and then all those things, we clarified why we went to Tally and all, because of the various reasons we have gone into Tally for the sake of easiness for the auditors to do the audit, and also it provides a kind of a trial balance which we might not have to get it through Access. So that is the reason we moved to Access, Tally. Now we have completely into Tally in the last 6 months, I believe that we have, but a lot of amount of work has gone, done by Janet, of course, Kanaga and JSR. A lot of work has gone when we did the migration from Access to Tally, and currently we are on Tally right now. Is it okay? We are on both. Right now we are running a parallel run. So basically April to September we have compared it also, both the systems. It's coming perfectly fine. Probably over a period of time next, after this end of this financial, probably we will go with Tally for most of the purposes, and Access also will continue. That's how. That's okay. Accounting entries will be visible. Yeah. Is there anything else, Janet, you need to cover? Okay, fine. Thank you.
When you talked about the expense, I got one question on that. Lot of things we talked about our own borewell. I couldn't get any update on that. Please, somebody can update on that.
So we will go through it in the question and answer session, sir.
Please excuse me, okay, some issues in that file. But I need to present to you all what has been done throughout the past 1 year. There have been certain measures taken to track the expense, to bring in and monitor the documentation process so that we are very clear on where our money is being spent. Today, I think all our files are being arranged and kept for members to view. Yes, when I took over in November, the first thing which I saw was we need to bring in a measure to track down the cash flow which has been happening, for which I introduced a G-sheet, online G-sheet, which is accessed by almost all the executive committee members, and the zonal committee members were there. And day-to-day cash flow is being entered in, which sitting at home, all our members can view. Okay, and next was automating the IOM process, that is inter-office memorandum, so that the time spent is reduced, and also we also keep track of how much is being gone out from our side, and our office records are up to date. Next one was to create a sheet where members can be aware of the projects and the purchases that are going to happen. For which PPC sheet was done, in which all the executive committee members, ZC members were all there. It was nice. So all these steps were taken so that we bring in transparency in accountants, in accounting process to the members. Then in the month of February or March, I did circulate around to the executive committee members all, even the ZC members, I think, a 5-year analysis of our spend. This was done zone-wise. I think all of us have it. So when you look at that file, you will get to know where the spend is high for a particular zone. Say, for example, you take, for example, zone 1, the major spend will be on the water part. You take zone 2, the major spend will be on the lift. Okay, this was done zone-wise and circulated. And I would like to thank JS sir. He really appreciated it, and the EC also appreciated. I would like to have this analysis being done then and there so that we all are aware where our money is being spent. That brings transparency in the accounting. Next one is, I also did send out an forecast of the budget so that, see, this is the amount we have, this is the spend we are doing, this will be the forecast so that the zone can sit with your members, analyze, and see what projects you can do along for the next year. Okay, next one was, someone had raised a question, I think Mr. Praveen, why there is more expense on the DG line, DG expense is more. Actually, there was an online process even executed for that also, where the DG usage can be tracked. I hope the upcoming EC will look into it seriously so that a day, you take a day, how many hours a DG runs, what is the usage. No, we keep track of it. Okay, that was also introduced, but I would request the EC to take it seriously and all members and see, it is all our money at the end of the day, right? And this should be told to the members. Next one is, finally, as a treasurer, my role was to complete the auditing process. And from November, it was all like, when started close off the books and everything. By mid-April itself, we were ready with our books, the files and everything for the auditing to happen. And it was completed. Yeah, it started. Yeah, in a very short span of time. In fact, this was appreciated by the auditor. I would like to thank the and everyone who helped in that. Yes, because one thing which Balu sir had told me, and I'm happy that I was able to do that. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, we closed, and our auditing firm is KSGS and Co. Going forward, I always feel, there should be value to the money we spend, and there should be transparency in the accounting process. I always feel, you have a quarterly account being circulated to the members, for which I think we need to have one more staff, because as owners, we cannot be sitting and doing that. If possible, our accounting team who is there current now can do that, and members have a quarterly expense detail, so that at the end of the day on AGM, you don't have a surprise that, oh, my spend is there or not. And a monthly zonal account summary. I think this was all introduced earlier. Somewhere, for some reason, it's, though we tried doing it, we couldn't do it meticulously. I would like to try and do it, maybe with the support of everyone along, so that we can all sit in front of you saying, see, this is what is happening. We should not be having information concealed, be transparent, and that's what we should have in a community. I would like to thank Srinivasan sir. He said, I should be able to exchange a smile when I walk inside the community. That is what even I want. When you walk out of your home inside a community, you should be able to exchange a smile with other. And seeing all these court cases and everything, I feel like all this should come to an end. So what can you do for this? As a committee, let's all work together. Let's all be transparent. Let's all stay together. That's it. And thank you.
So now I just want the members to adopt the audited financial statements for 22-23, and I will just pass the resolution. It's resolved that the audited financial statements were for the financial year 22-23 being adopted by the members of the AQUALILY Homeowners Association. I want to say, yeah. Yes. Thank you. The next one is agenda is resolved that the appointment of the auditors, Mrs. KSG Subramaniam and Co. be confirmed by the members of the AQUALILY Homeowners Association for the same professional fee of 25,000 per year. I request the members to raise their hands. Yes. Thank you. Now I leave the next agenda. I would like to call upon the election officers for declaration of the results. And yeah, where is it? Election. Mr. Arjun, where is he? Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Hello. Oh, first of all, I would like to thank the opportunity for giving me the election officer. So I'm here to announce the results. Zone 1 for Executive Council, it's Kanaga and Balachandra. And for Zonal Committee, it is Preeti and Tina. Zone 2 is Pradeep for Executive Council and Ramya for Zonal Committee. And Zone 3, there are 3 election council, which is Ramasubramaniam, Mohan and Shruti. Zonal committee will be Albin, Nishantini and Satish. Zone 4 EC is Bharati and ZC is Dr. Ramya and Balasubramaniam. And Zone 5 did not go for election as it was unanimous. EC is Bhaskar, Praveen and Senthil Kumaran. And ZC is Prabhakaran, Ashok and Suresh. Okay, I will wish all the best for the newly elected members and thank you.
Yeah, I request all the newly elected members to come to the stage. Yeah. Whoever is available at this point of time, I request all of you. Yeah, please, Pradeep. Yeah. Please. Yeah. Please. So we will go. EC members, basically we are. EC members. First. So, yeah, thank you very much. One more. Yeah.
Newly elected ZC members, if they are still here,
Please, yeah, the newly elected zonal committee members, they can stand up so that the members can, yeah, we can, yeah, please. So, thank you for this, and then we hereby ratify the announced appointments of newly elected EC and zonal members to this association. Thank you, election officer Arjun. Thank you, Arjun, for your fantastic work. Thank you.
I'd like to add, thanks to it has been a very elaborative process and it has been very difficult to get members to come in. Starting with the nomination council members for each zone, they did a fantastic job. Thanks to them. I think they also deserve appreciation for the way they have done it professionally. Thanks to election officer, he's done an excellent job. Thank you, sir.
So that is the, that's where our agenda ends here. Like, we would like to go into the question and answer session and then any other item. I expect any new UC members, if you want to say something, please. Okay.
I just repeat the question again what I asked of them.
Okay.
And somebody can ask what is happening. No, my voice can be heard everywhere. So what is happening on the borewell issue? We thought we'll have a substantial savings in that. I think somebody can update it on that.
So basically, sir, I can answer you that question. Basically, we need to, it's a very larger question which we need to talk about it. And still, as I mentioned in my address, we have to talk about MRDL negotiations and we have to go through those entire process for which we are planning to bring more members from each zone so that will be more participative. And then once we have that kind of a committee, then probably we will, of course, this will be taken up based on the views of the entire community. We should be moving ahead on that. Thank you.
Good evening, one and all. It was great to see Zone 4 was facing election for the first time, and it's almost 104 e-votes out of 150 odd people. It's great to see the response. It was great to see the kind of responsibility when we reached out to the members. Thanks for electing me for this post. My only request to the current existing EC members is that please give us some time to understand whatever is the background, and let's be a diversified group. where individual views are also taken forward. Yeah?
Sure.
And let it be always an inclusive group.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm here after 3 years. Okay, first of all, thanks to the members who voted for me. We had Zone 2 here used to be the most docile zone, I would say. Very less participation from owners usually. But surprisingly this time we had 45 members voting out of 80. For me it was overwhelming, okay? And we had a good discussion. So thanks for the opportunity to again come here and be in the EC. And hopefully going forward we will have more fruitful discussions. And as I think most of us, even Jay Subramanian said, endeavor should be to go with consensus as large as possible, even if it's going to take a little more time, because it's not our own property, single persons, it's a whole community, which by way may delay process, but it will have less heartburns. Probably it will avoid a lot of confrontations. I think that's what our objective should be. Okay, thank you.
Regarding this expenditure and maintenance, okay, whatever it is, repairs and maintenance, can you bifurcate, because you know the regular maintenance is more. Since I have been as an office bearer, I know that the regular maintenance is much more than the repairs. But when it shows, you know, the amount shows very bigger. People misunderstand that it is spent for the repairs. Repairs are not that much. So can you make it into two subject or head or something like that? So people will understand that the regular maintenance has to be done. There's no this thing which can be done. And repairs, how much we are really, as he said that the maintenance is going to increase. Maintenance in the sense the repair work will be increased. Or because of the inflation or because the equipments are becoming worn out and other things. So why not you make it into two things? Separate two different cost heads. Yes, because regular maintenance is something different. If I am right, the maintenance and the repair includes of the regular maintenance.
So basically she's saying like why not we segregate the AMC part?
Just see the amount, you know, it looks very big. So people will really get confused.
Yeah.
It starts with repairs.
Yeah, ma'am, I agree with you because it's annual maintenance charges which are very standard ones. Regular stuff you are talking. Okay, sure, that can be considered. So Janet, basically we need to segregate it at the accounting level. Basically, that's what. Yeah, we will. Yeah, that was my view.
I come from this E block, which is the zone 5. It's now nearly 4 years old. There are few good technical issues that need to be addressed by Mahindra people to make sure that the building sustains with good long life. And few of those points have already been noted, and I'll be discussing with the E members to make sure that Mahindra World City attends to all this, so that we as association do not spend money on those issues which they lag behind in, maybe small or big. I have already identified, and it is already under process of discussion with them. Thank you.
Hi, I'm from D1 block. My question is specific to Children Park. The Children Park, the floor restoration is not happening actually. I escalated 3 times. I think no action is taken on that?
I think I just made a presentation on that. It should have been done. We fully accept it, but there is a delay. Why there is a delay? I kind of explained it. It is not a
No, do we want some fatal injury to happen? Did you see that how the floor is now?
Yeah, we have seen it. We have observed. I think I made a presentation where I clearly explained why the delay is happening. This will be implemented.
There is no point of seeing the delay. I would request everyone to take
Sure, definitely,
that on serious
absolutely.
note.
This is
I am father of 2 kids, 4 years and 7 years. I am not sending them from last 1 year.
We'll get it done soon. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Earlier it was floor, now there are so many potholes now.
That's what, sir.
It's a pity, I tell you. We have got so much children playing there. In fact, we require one more wait. In fact, we require one more playground. This playground is not sufficient. We are going to get 3 more blocks. There are going to be younger generation. This park is not sufficient. And just saying we are going that is not the answer. Even before it happens, if you take action, it will be much better. And moreover, in D block, I find that the trees are just going up. Okay, I don't know whether any of you have visited EC members here. Okay, when you walk, please walk inside the. Okay, otherwise you have to build a bridge from the steps to the ground. Please. Okay, come and
sure.
If anyone falls, it will be a case on you. Okay, actually the Chennai Commission, they have asked to cut the trees also. Not the trees means I meant the branches. Every for the last 2 years I have requesting you people to cut the branches before the rain comes. No. In fact, when we came, one branch it fell on our house, on the window. I was sitting beside the window.
I think Mr. Bala is aware of this. I sent a photo to you.
Okay, but no. If you see, one part is like very, very well developed, and some regions are not at all developed. Why the discrepancy?
Ma'am. See, if you are saying there is, we have missed out on tree cutting, that is something that I will definitely follow up and take care. But if you are saying discrepancy, I don't think I will accept that. Sorry to say that.
No, sir, you please come. D3, you come and see. It is like Palevanam, okay, and some areas are developed. No, that is not the thing.
Definitely, okay, ma'am. Definitely, we will. No. As far as I am aware of, there is no partiality or discrepancy. But if you feel so, we will raise it up. We will raise it up at the zonal committee, and we will address it definitely.
Gardener. Why should I request a gardener? Okay. The pity is the owners residing in D3 is only 2 or 3. Okay. So that is the problem. And only the you say the water seepage is attended to. They remove the planter box. After removing the planter box only, we are getting so much of water inside our flat. So much of peeling is happening. And they repaired and they have not repaired it properly. The water is dripping down. And there is no one to communicate. No one is coming and seeing. I have to shout. Just like now I'm talking with you. When the trees, they fell on the scooter, on the car. Okay, rotten branches, they fell. Because I am in the ground floor, I have to do the policing. Why the hell should I do? I need not do. Why? What is the manager who is sitting here doing? No one. Every time, I have to argue. Maybe they have kept a name for me also. And everyone is parking just on the way. Why was that parking as well allowed? You should not allow. You must keep a fence there. Okay.
See, parking allotments are,
What I meant was just in the front of the building where they have to get the.
Your concerns are addressed, ma'am. We will definitely take it up at the zonal committee. I am also from D block. We will take it up at zonal committee and we will definitely address all of this. Okay.
I want you people to walk. When you walk, get inside D block also and see how the roots of the tree has 2.5 years I have been calling, telling, everything, but nothing is being done. Even if you are unable to do, tell me. I'll take a photo and send it to the Greater Chennai Corporation.
We'll take it up at the zonal level and we'll reach out to you, ma'am, definitely.
I'm not asking you to cut the trees. Just cut the roots, relay the part where we are walking. Many people are all old people. And why only one side the ramp is that this one is given to walk, the other side it is free. That, what do you call it? That railing, no? Railing is only on one side. Why only one side railing? You must have a railing on the other side, no? On the steps.
On the steps, sir.
Yeah,
you see, Mahindra did not do any of the railings. We did the railings, right?
Pardon?
Mahindra did not do any of the railings. We did the railings.
In fact, someone fell down. We requested and after that only one railing was kept. I am asking you can keep another railing on this side also.
No, what difference that is going to make?
Hey, one person will be coming down, the other person will be going up. On the steps I am saying.
Sure, ma'am. We will make from the zonal committee, we will make a visit. We will definitely inquire what your shortcomings are.
You are saying you are in D block and you are wondering what I am speaking.
No, because I know what is happening.
See, I'll tell you, two of my people, no, in my block, they have broken their legs. Okay, so when someone is coming this way, the other way also people will be coming. We require that, no, to catch and climb. That is a genuine request I am asking.
We will consider that, ma'am. The request has to come from the zonal level. We will definitely look into it. Okay, thank you. Thank you for expressing your concerns. Thank you. Sure, ma'am. See, this material that is currently used, it is not fit for outdoor. We need to replace that. Okay? How do we arrive at? Sorry? No, I didn't get your question. Yeah, it cannot be patched up. That area cannot be patched up. We need to replace it fully. And to replace that, there was an extensive study that Mohan was reading it. Is Mohan here? You want to answer that, Mohan?
Okay, I'll just explain the issue. When we got into the present situation of park is basically EPDM. That material is actually like waxed inside the place and they do it. And there is no patching effect. And it doesn't last long and it is not good for outdoor. That is what everybody has said. The other associations or wherever it has been used. So we did an extensive study, what can fit us. Then we finalized on tile-based zippers so that it fits even tomorrow if there is any damage down the 5 lines, we can just replace only the tile part. And the patchwork can be done, maintenance can be done. See, for that, it never stopped there. First was, we have to dig out everything, then relay everything, set the water levels, then come back to the EPDM. So there are 2 types of issues which you have. One is civil work, second is EPDM work. So when we go for tiles, there are a lot of options which was thrown, but none was for outdoor. There is no solution which is purely outdoor. The outdoor solution is plastic based, which we were not interested. That was the solution which was given outdoor. Wherever the outdoor stadiums were used, they were using plastic tiles. But plastic tiles, you will not have any suspension effect, so we ruled out that. Then we came to rubber tiles. That was the last solution which we finalized on, rubber tiles. So that took a lot of time. And when we came into rubber tiles, we had a huge pricing issue because it was crossing 10 to 15 lakhs. Then we have to bring down the cost. So then we were looking for other suppliers to bring down the cost. But we were not getting anybody from Chennai. Then we have to go to Bangalore. Then we moved to Bombay. Now we are moving to Delhi also. The cost variance is very high. Like we get a quote in Chennai for 8.5 lakhs and we get a quote for Delhi in 3.5 lakhs. So we are not able to accept the sense why there is a huge difference. What is the quality difference? See, all of us are not technically qualified to say this tile is better or that tile is better. So we have to look for an expert level. But the expert level takes a lot of time. So they are not coming forward. The suppliers are not interested to come and give more information. These are the delay points. We wanted to have a permanent solution. Finally, we froze on that. We said rubber solution will suit us. Then comes the thickness. We chose the thickness also. Everything is finalized. And the last minute vendor, the Delhi vendor gave us a very, very cheap quote. We asked them to send samples. Once the samples are there, we want to test the quality. Then we want to move on. That is what is moved to Q1 if I'm not wrong. The whole delay happened for understanding and see, Lot of times we have challenges because we are not technical experts on that inside AQUALILY, and we are dependent of lot of people outside, and we don't get information on time. And everybody is a vendor, so lot of commercial nuances are going in, and we are not getting clarity on quality or warranty. So everybody gives code, but there is no warranty which is mentioned, which is giving, because if I do a 10-15 lakh investment, we want a warranty of the product. We want to know how much assured it is. But there is no supplier who is giving warranty for us. They say, we'll come, lay and go. If it comes, it comes. It can come 1 year also, 2 years also, it might go. We cannot assure warranty. Then we have to find a manufacturer who is giving a warranty. Then we want to have a laymanship who will do a job of laying this. These are the process level hindrances we faced. We crossed those things, and we have finally got into a solution where rubber tails will suit us, will go above 15 mm is what the thickness we have finalized on. Now it's only implementation. Because of the rain catched off, we couldn't get the samples from Delhi. The samples would have arrived, this would have done faster. So we're waiting for the final samples from Delhi because they have quoted the lowest. So unless and until we understand the quality of it, we are not able to take a call. Once that comes, we can take a final decision, we can move on. Q1, that is what I think in the presentation it said Q1. Q1 is January, February, March.
Priority. Can you take it as a priority?
Yeah. Before March, you can keep it January, February. See, we need 3 weeks of without rain also. We need a dry surface to be done.
Sir, I am not sending my kids actually.
Yeah, I understand. See, I also have a kid. I agree to you.
One day,
But it was, see, the only thing is it was not intentional.
penalty also.
Correct. See, I agree. See, it's not intentional is what I'm trying to say. See, there are a lot of things, the nuances happens because of technical expertise. We are not able to take a call just like that. We have to understand the proximity of it, understand the futuristic of it, and we are not from that level, in the sense that we don't have expertise level on rubber tails. Today, after doing a lot of work, speaking to many people, I've come to a solution that rubber tail suits us. So that takes time.
Sir, from EC, I will say this is a high priority. This will be taken up as a high priority if that is. Okay, thank you.
My first issue was escalated in 2022. Now we are reaching 2024.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. So I am a happy resident of Zone 5, and I have been living here since early 2021, and it's only for the past 6-7 months or so that I've encountered this issue. It's about the stray dog menace. I have never seen stray dog. So monkeys, yes, I understand, but they have largely gone. But stray dogs, I'm quite surprised considering we have 2 gates and we have watchmen. I just don't understand how we have stray dogs entering within the complex, and it's very difficult, to drop the trash at night because they will follow you, and we know a lot of these stray dog incidents that have happened all around Chennai where people have been bitten and they've had to, there's always this possibility of rabies injections. We have a lot of kids playing in the evenings, cycling. So please take this on priority. We cannot have stray dogs inside the complex. There's no point in having a security otherwise.
Yeah, I think this is a concern for everyone here. We have received a lot of complaints. We are working with Mahindra on this to find a solution which would be across MWC and not just AQUALILY. So soon we will have a solution for that. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, sure.
I'll just try to give you an explanation on the issue of stray dogs, which of course I think is very important, and I do appreciate that this is a menace which needs to be tackled. Just to give you a background, as much as we are concerned about stray dog menace, there is also animal protection rights which are there, and I don't know how many of you know or if you have read. To remove stray dogs is also a crime, okay, under the law. I don't know if you need to go and read the act also. There is an act. So you cannot, the only thing which the Supreme Court has recently passed the order, please go and read it also, that stray dogs, you cannot remove them. And when you sort of remove them, even in Delhi when the G20 meeting happened, I don't know if you have followed up, all the stray dogs were removed because all the dignitaries came, and all these dogs have been relocated at the same place. Please go and read that article. The animal rights activists started chasing the concerned agencies to ensure all those stray dogs which are removed from the respective locations were relocated back in the same locations. That is the extent to which people have gone and fought for the rights of the stray dogs. So forget about removing them, you cannot even touch them. So there are issues. And many times people have taken, I am telling you out of experience, when the stray dogs were to be removed, people have taken a video of that particular removal process and sent it across to the animal rights activists, and they have also filed cases against the concerned office bearers in many societies. So it is important for us to understand that there is a other side also which is equally active in terms of protecting the rights. So it has to be a balanced solution. I totally agree with your point that it is important for us to find a solution, but you know, the management is also seized of it. Personally, I am also seized of it because I have also seen instances when my next door kid was attacked, almost had to be attacked with a stray dog. So I'm totally with you, but please have it in mind. This is a solution which we have to find within the legal ambit as well.
Yes, yes, I completely understand, and I understand, and I am all for animal love, and I can see that a couple of months back we got a notification that we are supposed to have, if anybody is found feeding stray dogs, they ought to, adopt them, that sort of thing, and that's a good enough implementation, But what I was trying to see in the ambit of the law that you just mentioned, sir, that we ought to have them sterilized. First of all, we should not have them around inside, because I have an elderly mother who's barely mobile, and she'll not be able to, if a dog approaches her, God forbid, she'll not be able to really respond. And there are a lot of elderly people and kids as well. So we need to be very cautious as to how did they enter in the first place. And once they did, then we probably have to get in touch with the animal rights activists to come and, locate them elsewhere, like you've mentioned. But this is something that needs to be done on priority, because I definitely see that before unfortunate incident happened to any of us, this has to be dealt with ASAP.
No doubt, ma'am. Thank you. Agreed.
One minute. There were two replies. I want to know which one is final. Because you said you are working with MWC to resolve this issue once and for all. And then there is a counter view from the same side.
What is the...
I want to know which is the correct...
No, what is the... Do you see a contradiction in this?
Definitely, because you said you are working with MWC to solve the problem of stray dogs.
Correct. He explained the challenge why we are not able to do it.
No,
What is the contradiction?
I just want to know which is final, that's all.
No, there is no contradiction, sir. If there is two contradictions, I can say which is final. But I am saying we are working with them. He is saying what is the challenges in getting this done. I don't see the contradiction.
I can see the contradiction, because after all that he said, it is not possible.
No.
They have to be sterilized and put in the same place.
Chandrasekhar, please don't put words into my mouth. I'm sorry, I have to respond to you. Sorry. This is not the way. I never said anything like that. Please understand the challenges part of it is to be understood. When you have to work out a solution has to be within the ambit of the law, and we cannot go against the law. I totally respect what the sentiments expressed by the lady concerned. Equally, I am also concerned about it. There is no contradiction in what I said. I only articulated the fact the solution has to be found within the ambit of the law, and he only said you are working with MRDL. There is absolutely no contradiction. If you are thinking it's a contradiction, I am saying there is no contradiction.
Because ultimately we know if it bites, it is we who get affected. So we do it silently instead of quoting laws.
So good evening. So I have a couple of questions here. First and foremost is our buildings have started to show its age. By the way, I am from C1. So one of the important things what I would like to point out is that, okay, today when we go inside our houses, it looks pretty good, okay? We just look around our houses. But then when we see it from outside, it is not exactly the same AQUALILY it used to be earlier. So are there any plans with respect to painting these from the outside? Point number one. And if it is or if it is not, all I'm trying to make is, I'm not going to complain or anything, I'm only trying to say that, okay, there's a plan which needs to be made, if at all it's not there. Second is about height repairs. Height repairs in the sense, if you have an apartment complex, which goes up to 8 or 9 floors. Now, you cannot simply repair a window or something just by standing inside the house. you probably have to access it using a boom barrier or a crane from outside. Now, if you have, say, 5 houses which needs repairs, probably you can bring it in one shot. But that requires elaborate planning because that equipment costs a lot to be hired for a day or so. So it's not easy to get it just to repair a window because last 2-3 days back, many of you would have seen it in WhatsApp. One window fell down during this winds and then it fell on a car. Actually, it happened in the block where I'm staying. Now, if you are to repair the window, I don't know if it is possible to just go up and repair an individual window. It may not be possible also. So that's it. So an elaborate plan needs to be made. I think we need to go connect with all the people, understand whether anybody has got any height repairs, point number one. And if that is the case, then these allied facilities will have to be planned accordingly. So that's a point. Second is about the common facilities. For example, the multipurpose hall, where we are sitting right now, and the gymnasium, what we have inside. So it looks like the swimming pool is fairly well maintained, people are using it. But the gym is, it looks like there's a little bit of a neglect over there. Also this hall, it doesn't have a permanent sound system when we have it. Right now, I think these are all hired, right? These are not part of this hall. So I think we need to have a permanent solution in place. It used to be there at some point of time. So there is a little bit of what you call degeneration happening there. I think we need to replace these things. So a little bit of more equipment in the gym and the common amenity center. This is all what I have to say.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. I would like to raise a point. Is there somebody else?
Hello. I am from D2102. So actually, I also wanted to talk about the menace of monkeys and dogs, but fortunately, the other lady has talked over it. Regarding the monkeys, I don't know what the plan you are having, but it's having a lot of problems putting shit on each floors, that every day we have to request our maid to do this, and she was reluctant to do that, and then the work is came to the owners of these flats and other things. So you have to do something very seriously on this one. And not only that, it's unfortunately if you open the door, keep open the door, it directly comes inside. I had 2 occasions like that. So it's very dangerous for us. I request to take immediate and serious action on this one. And as far as the street dogs, he explained everything, but can you have a separate space for those dogs to bring in and you can feed and whatever, like if you want to adapt the laws and other things, or have to do something. If you allow like this, and if it bite or something like that, then who will answer on those things? So you have to take it in that sense. As the law is not allowing us to do that, means if it bites, then what is the law makes? So you have to take a serious consideration for this one also. The other point which I want to tell, lot of pipes or leaks in the basement, and the leaking water is dropping on the cars. And it is spoiling the car, and I am spending lot of money on painting again and again. It is not going so easily. So something has to be done. Many times, even now it is going on. It has to be addressed. So another point, for those who are the workers who are working here, they want to wash their hands and do all those things. Somewhere in the flats downstairs, in the ground floor, each 2 or 3 flats there is one pipe and they are doing washing all those things. But they are not cleaning. So that becomes very messy and a lot of, they are totally spoiling it. And we cannot, we are in the first floor, the smell and other things we could not tolerate if they are not cleaning. And this I have addressed many times to those workers, and I have come and reported here in the, here also. But there is no action on those things. So this has to be addressed. These 3 points I want to make. Please address this one and take care of it.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
One thing I want to address is the security, because we are living in the compound wall. There were instances where people from the nearby villages dropped into our houses, stole all the bananas, stole all the other things, and they damaged a lot of properties and couldn't able to do much on this. I think this is becoming a nuisance now. In my house, at least 3 times has happened. I think Kanaga knows it very well. We need to do something because when we went on the CCTV footages, they say either the leaves is fully closed it and then they are not able to capture it. I think this is going to be a bigger threat now because people started scaling the walls. They know very clearly our electrical fences are not working. We need to do something about it because till date, I think AQUALILY has been a place where the security is at the prime state. I think we need to do something more on this. This is my only request. I think we're doing a great job, but I think this is something has to happen very quickly because otherwise it is going to be creating another nuisance for us. Please.
Thank you.
I think you need to do a sort of an audit and then check all the cameras are in the vantage positions rather than anything because people come and cut the leaves but they don't cut what is necessary, right? I think so many times when we are not home, they just cut it for the sake of doing it. I think somebody has to supervise it and to me it's becoming very dangerous because most of the times I'm on travel, my wife and my children are alone at the home and it's quite scary. I think 2-3 times it has happened. The last issue what happened, they even tried to steal a light, the floodlight from my area. And it was completely bent, the iron rod was completely bent, right? Therefore, I'm really worried about it now.
Yeah. Now, mine is not about a complaint. Sir,
Ashok, please.
So mine is not a complaint. Mine is a suggestion for a future from a minority today, and that is most modern communities provide a space for senior citizens to flex their limbs and so on for better living. I would therefore request the AC to ponder over this and provide for sufficient space so that senior citizens whose population will continue to grow as we age, you are able to provide something so that senior citizens can utilize them. So this is only a suggestion. Thank you.
Sir Ashok, sir, in fact, you also told me once personally, in fact, I have discussed it with the
I
EC.
actually raised it in a zonal committee meeting, Mr. Balchandar would know. But I was a lone voice, and today, once again, I'm a lone voice, but this is in the AGM.
Yeah, correct.
So this is a demand.
Sure, so I will take it up, sir. Thank you.
Can I go now?
Sir, again, regarding the security, I would like to again highlight here. About a month back, I just happened to open the gate of my front gate. One gentleman was sitting just in the bench, what I have kept outside, by 3:30 in the morning. So I just immediately asked him what happened and all. Then he happened to be a senior citizen, and he explained me, see, I was dropped by an auto here. I was looking for E2, a block where he has to go, but he was held up in D3. So there, he was not able to find where is E2, even in the early morning, around 3:30, and he has been sitting there in the, just in the veranda of a D3. So then immediately I guided him for that. Then when I went to security and asked the security, they were not having any record of his entry by auto. Auto rickshaw, he came by auto rickshaw, but there was no entry. Then I was wondering, then I asked the security people to go and check with the E2 block, and that case happened to be a genuine one, but that gentleman was left in, left with no signboards and all. I would like to request you to kindly arrange for the signboard for all the area so that people can identify whenever they enter. In the early morning, he was not able to identify where the E2 block or where the block at all. So this is one. And moreover, this entry at 3:30, 4 o'clock, by auto he came, but there was no entry, security entry there.
Yeah, surely we need to check that, sir. If you can give me the.
I informed that security man and the security officer, but nothing has happened afterwards. Nothing has happened. But only that I insisted them to check with the E2 block, and then that case happened to be a genuine entry only.
Sure.
But it was not recorded. Even at 3:30, 4 o'clock, an auto rickshaw is coming with a man, but no, he simply dropped at the D3.
Okay.
And also I would like to know the additional 3 blocks of a C789 is getting added. Are we engaging MRDL to do any common facility to be shared, like softening plant and all we incurred, no, earlier? So softening, water softening plant in the park, common area. Are we engaging the MRDL to do, any sharing, cost sharing and all? Are we doing it? Are we in the process? We have started already because they are going to complete and in a few months they are going to hand over. Are we ready or are we engaging? If at all, then what is the status of that?
Yeah, we are talking to them, sir, and basically they will collect the money, whatever, we will give them the depreciated value
Initially
of...
for 1 year.
We will give them the depreciated value of all the assets that we have created later, and they will collect and give. That agreement is there, but I think they are looking at somewhere next April for the people to come and occupy, and they will maintain it for a particular period and then only hand it over to us.
So they will continue to pay money on behalf of the occupants.
Correct. And also, like, if they are going to use our common facilities, for that portion of it, we will charge them also.
Yeah, we'll have to charge, and
Yes.
relaying of some of the roads and all. No, again, one more thing, ma'am. Actually, this D block where we have got about 16 lifts are there. All the vendors are misusing, especially the BB Daily, Big Basket and all. There is no control on them. There is no proper guidance for them. They simply drag that on the granite floor, and they dash it with the inside the lift also. This is happening.
Okay, we will call them and discuss with them.
So I just want to highlight one of the issues just outside our AQUALILY, all those trucks that are there, the BMW trucks, right? So it's becoming a menace. I'm sure you all would have noticed that, right? We can see them parked up from almost, the far end of the road until beyond our AQUALILY gate, right? And as far as I recollect, earlier we had an agreement with you, the trucks all along, and there was a limited period of time only up to which they would park. But that doesn't seem to be the case now. So what are your plans for that? Have you thought about that? Have you looked into it?
Yeah, we started talking to them.
But we already have an agreement, right? Earlier we have, yes.
Shan would also remember. See, what happened was in 2017 there was an incident with a truck and one of our residents. I think Dr. Divakar is not here. Okay, that issue flared up. So then we, at that time, I just became secretary. So we, AQHOA, BMW admin, and MWC. That time Kavi Kamban and people were there. We sat together and we had an understanding that they would not park trucks on this road, which from Infosys Road you turn right? So they don't park here. They will park further on that. So, and if at all the truck comes, they will only come and turn in, they will never be parked there. And that our agreement is there. And in fact, it was properly followed by them for almost 2-3 years. Then in 2021, after the corona, again they started.
And at that time,
Shan, I don't know if he remembers, I again told him and he reminded that I sent those documents again and he contacted them and they removed it. Okay, now again it started. I think probably they also are keeping watch of our team changing here. Okay, so that's what I would request probably just, that should be continued.
Yeah, I think that's very important because I was almost mowed down.
We are seeing number of trucks coming very early in the morning and they do make trucks out at Baker.
No, they come and turn over the, the lake road.
There are many issues. One is the traffic itself. Then the drivers, if you see, they use that as a public toilet, and nowadays I see even they're cooking. They bring the whistles and they cook
they're
there.
living their life
Okay, so
as
I think
long
there
as
are many other offshoots of this. So we should be very clear with them. We shouldn't allow this being a residential area, not truck parking there as a permanent thing. I think that's something we should do.
it's not just the side roads, it's both the lanes occupied.
No.
Yes, as well.
I
And
fully
I think the
And we have in this case at least an agreement, tri-parties signed MOU.
Yeah,
We just
Pradeep-
have to ask them to implement it. That's all.
Pradeep, I fully
I think
agree
that
with
should
you.
be taken up as
I
one
fully
of the
agree with
priority
you
items.
because 2 months back I was almost got killed, to be very frank with you. One truck guy was drunk and he came out of the road immediately. He was just coming and dropping my son and coming from the road. He just took just few millimeters away from my car.
The
I think
same thing
when
was 2 weeks back.
I think, secondly, I'm not worried about people traveling in car. I'm really worried about children going to school in cycles.
Cycles, yes.
And the place at which the junction of MWC school has become mess. In the morning at 8:30, you can't even cross that road. Something need to be done for this. I have taken it up personally from my capacity to Mahindra, and of course, you people have to write a strong mail. Absolutely is a mess at 8 to 8:15. It's like I don't know, it is waiting for something to happen, waiting for something to happen there. To be very, very frank with you, I'm really worried about people sending their wards by cycles. Please don't do that.
What I'm trying to say is about varied subjects like transparency and accountability. At every stage of management in this AQUALILY association, this thing, of course, this is an honorary job, but it becomes very important to stress on this issue because, for example, if there are some complaints that are coming in, there is no complaint register which actually records the complaints. There is no time-bound response on those complaints. There is no track on whether those complaints are solved or not. There is no document, single document which actually which everybody can see. So accountability is in terms of recording the complaints and providing when the solutions were done and what solutions provided, if possible what cost was thing, that is not an important thing. But then again, those complaints should be accessible to everyone. And everybody, there might be repeated complaints. Somebody might be complaining in D block, somebody in E block, somebody in villa area, but nobody will interlink that. Those complaints can't be interlinked and managed. That is one thing. Then the major, this thing in the villa area I'm seeing is the outfitting of villas. Somebody has done something, somebody has done something else. There is no transparent document which says that you can do all these things. Please do it. Go ahead and do it. There is always a fear that if you do this, somebody is taking a favor about because of this. Somebody's fear that we can't do something like this. They are doing this because they are close to the management. So all these things should be done away with. We are about 150 outfitting to our own houses. But there is no transparent document which says that you can put a tin sheet over your this thing. You can put a fire for your this thing. So we have lot of rain lashing on our front this thing, but we have no clear this thing as to what we can do about it. So there is no transparency in terms of what can be done. I don't want to take names that you have done this, but it doesn't serve any purpose here. But we do want something, a clear document which says that, yes, you are allowed to do this. No, you are not allowed to do this. When it says, no, it's not allowed to do this, it has to be documented, it's followed by everyone. Somebody can't just do something and we all go throwing, mudslinging on each other saying that you're doing this because of you're very close to the management.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks, Vedant. Basically, I would like to update you one thing, like the zonal committee, at some point of time we spent so much of, Mr. Shripati is there, he spent so much of time in documenting what is allowed and what is not allowed. That document is available. We have given it to the administration, basically. Shripati, you want to add anything? Yeah.
No, it's a continuous attempt, Vedant. We take your point, and we have not been very, very successful in ensuring standards are reached across all the villas. But unfortunately, when we take one step forward, we also have to take 2 steps backward, because in many places there are some deviations which have happened knowingly, unknowingly, historical reasons. But what has happened is we have documented with about 100 photographs, 200 photographs for different areas of our villas, and then created a presentation, because within the 151 villas, we have different varieties of villas. So we have documented and created a presentation that needs to be presented to easy, and then we have to have an agreement that this is okay and this is not okay. I am telling you even now that it is not possible to make it 100% perfect document. It can be a guideline document, this is okay, this is not okay, but we will never be able to get something very perfect, because there are certain guidelines which are outside the purview of the association, which comes into the purview of CMDA. So we can give a guideline. That guideline can be much better than what we are today, but I think maybe next 2 to 3 months' time. Any point you want to add?
Sir, simple things like a fire in front of the house to prevent rain from lashing our door. Okay? Simple thing. There is no chaja for the windows. We can't keep the windows open in terms of rain. So certain things like that, which see, wherever we put a roof that the water is going to land in somebody else's neighbor's yard or something, then there is some meaning in saying that this kind of attachment will create trouble for the other people. No, these are small things like this thing. Why don't we have a guideline? We don't know whether we can do. Somebody has done something, somebody has not done something. We are not doing because there is a rule. We are trying to be ideal citizens here because there is a fitment guideline we are trying to follow. We have not put a single nail outside. That is not allowed.
Vedat, can I just add a point here? Yeah. Sri, yeah.
Sir, that's what when I said it's a two-pronged thing. One thing is accountability, one thing is accountability comes in when there is a document to follow, right? Transparency comes in when the document is available for everybody to see.
Fine. Shri, I'll just add. See, Vedant, thanks for raising this point, because on certain common elements, like 3 documents are already available for everyone. The first one, of course, is solar. Second is on the gates. Third is on the OHT. So some amount of uniformity was able to be achieved in this. But when it comes to extensions, see, there are 2 clear demarcation here. Anything, I think all of us are aware, and most of Zone 1 owners will also know that we as an association or any office bearer do not have the right, or we do not have the approval process for granting permission that will impinge on FSI. Beyond that, if there have been any requests for, like you mentioned, if there is rainwater falling on the door, or these are reasonable, logical requests, and nobody has sat on it. Provided, the only thing is aesthetically, I think all of us, because aesthetics become very subjective affair, and it's very difficult to say what is good for me may not be good for somebody else. So that is the only area where we find some amount of subjectivity. And after documenting about close to 150 different types of extensions, still it becomes very difficult to come up with a common element. So the only request here is, if there is some structure that you are proposing or anybody is proposing which will have an impact on FSI, please do not go ahead with that. Do not even send a request to us, because it becomes very embarrassing for us. Second, anything else, if there is a request for sunshade or which will prevent the rainwater from coming in, all those are allowed, and we have not sat on anything. But to add to this point, there are few precedent cases which is not being granted approval by the association or any office bearer. That has been done independently through MWC, for which I think none of the members can say that somebody else has done it, why can't you allow? No, we are not in a position to allow that, because we are not party to it. Because some of them have taken permission directly from MWC, and only MWC or MRDL can answer that. So beyond that, if there are any requests, we are trying to bring, if there are better suggestions, we are willing to follow that. but we are only trying to bring in some amount of commonality so that overall aesthetics is not disturbed. We are open to...
There is, if I may say, there is a hierarchy here in terms of permissions that have been given, right? There are some permissions that the association can give. There are certain permissions that the MRDL can give. When we are a collective group of people living in the same compound, why can't it be a public document that this is what MRDL has given to this fellow? Why do you take it and do it?
I'll just add one point to it, because see, I'm sorry to bring an MRDL into this. Today, see, we are going to live here forever, and at least, touch wood. But MRDL, there is an issue of continuity. Today, there are a set of executives, after 2 years, 3 years, they will move away. And the way that they grant approval is on a person specific or depending on who's sitting on the chair. But they need not be legally correct, because that's where the problem arises. They do not read FSI along with the requests that come in. And that is why we are having a problem with some of the requests that have been granted earlier, which are clear FSI violation. So what I'm saying is we cannot have a document or something that we can refer back to the MRDL. What we can say is what is good, what is legal, what will not affect us for long term. That we can share with you. We can have the document, all the broad guidelines, and all members are there. You can contribute to that so that we can have one good solid document.
Exactly, sir. That is what I meant to say, that when I said that if there are different kind of modifications done, why aren't those approval documents available? Now, per se, let us say that it's not legal, right? But when it is not legal, one person does it, nobody bothers. If 150 people do it, they will make it this thing and regularize it. What I'm saying is, why leave the document to us? If we want, we'll do it.
Vedant, the only thing is, the moment you allow CMDA or the local body to come in, I think we will face the music, because it is a never-ending task. There are many of us professionals who have dealt with CMDA in different forums. It is an entry point for them to fleece us. That is one thing why we are saying that do not even give them an opportunity to enter a premises. As long as nothing is violated, it's okay. The moment they come for one, the guy who's coming with the file, he's got nothing else to do but inspect all the 151 units. And we will start getting notices. And we are only providing them an opportunity to make money from us. So that is why, wherever, we know that if it is FSI violation will come, if you have 4 walls and a cover on top, definitely it is violation. It is going against the master plan what MRDL has submitted for approval. MRDL wash their hands off. They will say that we didn't allow this because we are signatory to a tripartite agreement where we will not, some of the modifications done here are not even allowed, because they are very clear in their documentation. You said we cannot do anything beyond what is given in our drawing. So they can, whoever is sitting in the chair, he'll say, no, we have not given an approval. This is the document that they have signed. If they have violated, then we need to bear with the liability. So that is what I'm saying. It's easier for us to have our own common views, and we can, that can be, I'm not saying quote unquote managed, as long as we don't get outsiders to come in.
Sir, it's not about outsiders. It is just about making an internal thing approval, that's all. So if somebody has already done that, and it's allowed,
it's done. I know, that's what I'm saying. Sri, we have not sat on any approval that has come unless there has been a gross deviation in that. Wherever normal, I think throughout the last 6-7 months, there are many people, many of the residents who have done alterations, and that has been going on. We have not stopped anyone. Or see, the intention is not to stop.
So you mean to say I can just submit a drawing to you and go ahead?
You can submit the drawing. There is a process. The estate manager will come. They will come, they'll inspect.
I would have asked this question in the start. Why I took so much of time to ask you all this is a different thing.
No. You can submit, they will inspect. If it is okay, they will come and clear it. That's not an issue.
Thank you. My name is Ganesan. I'm living in C6601. I was also a part of the committee, zone committee for time being, for last 6 months. I think one thing is very clearly missing is the connecting and listening to the community. Because in the wake of this election process, I was in touch with my community members. I had made an attempt, personal one-to-one attempt. I think only 10% of people are living in this as a owners living in this. Remaining 90% of people are tenants. So they may not be interested to come and tell their issues or observations or whatever it is. But when I walk through, I'm able to see that as a common man, lot of gaps, potential safety issues, potential health hazard issues, which I have been also expressing, voicing it over during what are the opportunities available. I think the more connect and listening is, it is not a complaint, it is a more of a well-wisher suggestion, more connect and listening to the community, irrespective of whether they are owners or tenants, it should be required. One. Second thing is there should be I think many people have said, the children's park area. I was also observing for last 6 months. I think the action bot will speak more than telling the justification. That is the purpose of this executive committee or zone committee, to things make to happen. Not for coming and telling, maybe 3 months is fine, some delay happens, fine. But things to happen so that people, the common man or common residents can acknowledge the team over here is to take care of us. They are very effective, they are very protective, helping us to progress on this community. And one more thing which may not be there now, I believe so, but I also see the zonal committee or executive committee. What is the participation level? Is it the election members are just elected members? Are they also actively participating in the forums? That need to be brought in very specifically. If somebody is just elected, not interested in participating in meeting, probably the committee should take an action for rectifying that. Because there may be many people who may not be elected but who are volunteering to help this community. Those consideration should be given rather than just holding a position and not participating in it. It is unprotected. So I believe these points are getting minuted here. I could see a lot of common points here. For example, I will tell you, I walk through every night. This both entry gate, there is a pedestrian crossing system is there. It is already installed. This is the second time I am making this point. Every time we have to pass through the two-wheeler or the car, and it is a safety hazard. The security says, please go away. Then we have to run towards the safe side. But there is a system put in. I am able to see ESL security system is put in. There is something need to be activated so that people can pass through the thing with the proper security and can come in inside, which is not activated. I think we have invested money, but it is not utilizing it. Like that, I will connect with my new elected members, zone members, and will give them. But in the consideration of timing, I am not presenting it. But there are a lot of common man's observations that need to be attended. That is how we will come to know that the committee is very effective and they are also very alert in serving to the community. Thank you.
Just a minute. I just want to make a comment as a resident now, not as a newly elected EC member. I very much resonate what that member said. In fact, the very reason why I came to this is, it was 2018 I purchased this home with a lot of wow factor. And over a period, I saw a lot of detriment in the infrastructure. More so happened this last 3 years. And I don't know what is the moment, I pay a lot of maintenance. It's not that I pay any less. I pay a lot of maintenance when compared to any other gated community. But still there is no wow factor for me. And I see, and in this last 1 month, I observed Zone 3 where I tried to see what's happening. And I saw Nimla ma'am has taken into a lot of complaints comes to her. She keeps responding to as a EC member. I don't expect it from an EC member. Are we having the right executives to take feedback from all the zones? The zonal committee has to meet once in a month to take the feedback and do action. But I'm seeing an EC member itself has to get into action. Why, the reason explained for delay in play area, the reason explained for so much of delay in documenting everything or to do something, is it more so happening that we don't have executive zone-wise? That was the very reason why I volunteered for this post. There are so many people who are willing to volunteer, contribute. Are their voices heard? Is the zonal committee has to meet very frequently? Because now, see, Villa is completely taking over the discussion for 15 minutes when it comes to aesthetic. But I have seen C block, many people have gone ahead and put a lot of this attachments. I'm not okay with this. I don't want to extend my this thing and completely spoil the aesthetics of this place. I want my township to be very beautiful. Nobody has even bothered about that C block thing. It's just not about the villa aesthetics. Even in, I see D block from the E block side, everything is gone bad. I'm not feeling proud anymore. So I just request, and I will be definitely a volunteer in part of it. Let's budget and forecast for this infrastructure betterment. We need not spend excessively, but a cost cutting should not come at cutting the right cost. At the same time, we take an informed decision. There is a betterment towards the facilities as well as the maintenance also has to be a sustenance activity. Yeah. And I'm ready to volunteer. If anybody is going to keep me away from this, I'll be the first one to voice out again. Yeah.
Hello, good evening everyone. So from last AGM, we had an update on the water. That is, as you all know, water is one of the main expenditure. And there were some negotiations with MRDL. So can you just update me, like what is the status on that? And again, the reason why I'm asking is like from past 3 AGMs, we are all stuck up with the issues. When I bought this flat on 2020, what is the reason? Like for all, the reason is nothing but this lush, this greenery, everything. And I'm very happy that the gardening committee, we are doing a very good job. And going forward, at least for a year, do we have a roadmap? We are all speaking about the issues, but do we have a roadmap? Like apart from issues, what further innovations? Like if you see our other apartments in the cities, it is reaching to the other level, but still, we are still stuck with the issues with MRDL and so on. And very sorry to say, even my flat value is going on down, down, down. But are we doing, or do we have a roadmap on such areas? Thank you.
Water. So you talked about water, correct? The first one. So basically, of course, it is part of this thing, but we have not touched that subject. Of course, MRDL we need to talk about when we have the other things. Basically, this is also clubbed together in terms of with. Yeah. That's not happened. Like we have to that's what I mentioned in my address also. We have to involve the more residents in basically coming out with a solution for this particular. It is not the only one. We are addressing other things also along with Mahindras. So that is why it is taking time. Basically now most probably we will, in the current year, probably we will have that discussions by engaging with more residents, and then we will take it up with them. Okay. See, pardon? Okay.
So, I'm Senthil. I bought a house long back, but I just moved now because of COVID. I hear a lot of issues through WhatsApp and other things that's happening. One thing that I see that whoever is facing a problem, they raise a question. We always talk about experts group, and I know that few of us are volunteering to take up GC or EC. We might not be an expert in a specific area. Can we form an experts group for specific reasons or addressing an issues? I might not be an expert in a civil engineering, but someone else would be. It's in a large community. At least we can leverage on them and take a help. So could be addressed water, on drainage system, or on construction side, renovation. There could be a possible, somebody who was experienced and throughout their life they will be a professional in that area. Can we form an expert group and take a help? Thank you.
that also and tell them to remark it somewhere else which is possible. And the other thing is regarding the blind turn, as the signage is mentioned. Okay, there is a blind turn near the D3, which crosses, which goes to C1, and this side there is a D3, and that side there is a park. See, the kids are very, very, very small, and they don't even listen. They just go on the cycles like here and there. Please see that there is a signage mark there, or there's a, what to say, the speed breakers. I mean, already there's a speed breaker. But it's a very risky thing, and there should be a mirror, convex mirror. Similarly, if the mirror is mentioned, it should be for the basement front also, because when we go in, the people are coming out in the same way. Okay, and anytime we can face any accident which is inside the basement itself. Okay, and now I'm coming to D block. Regarding the seepages issues which you had mentioned, okay, there is now which they have kept one granite near the lift just to see that the water is not falling, but it doesn't serve the purpose, which I need to tell you. This is a temporary solution is what I have understood, but that is not written in that 4 points or whatever it is. See that the windows or whatever is done such that, because of this, many people, many people were saying that elders are living, kids don't walk, they just run. You should see that the corridor is filled with water throughout. You can't even step out of your house when it is raining, even it. And the flats which are very near to that place, suppose that my flat is a little bit away from the place where the rainwater comes. But there are certain flats which is very near to the, corridor or whatever it is. So what happens is the space is very limited for them, and it gets filled with water. And the water passage which has to go, it is only 2 points which they have kept. The slope is also not there. So let them see that it is done properly. Okay. And now having you said that it is only going to take from April or something which the new, please see that all the problems of other zones are sorted, and then you can add the other zones to come inside. Till then, please, because already we faced enough issues. Okay. Let every problem be sorted, and then you can think of adding some other zone or whatever it is. Because you will add one more fuel to the fire, and we keep fighting for everything together, which is not possible. And now since solar has been done, which is NDLP period for zone 5, why not we think of solar for since it shows electricity charges are more, and now it has come into, even if we have applied from that part B or whatever it is, we are paying more. So when it is a common project, take solar on a priority basis.
This is regarding the AQUALILY, like related to the garden or whatever the outer space that is being taken care. So ours, whatever we see, it's a very greenery community, I can say. Completely greenery, and even while going for a walk or something like that, nowadays we are seeing many bird species that is coming inside, and this is very good sign, and one thing what I request to all the owners to tenants, and owners to mates and tenants to mates, like whatever the dustbins or whatever the cleanliness, so cleanliness will be the first priority, because I have seen many instances, dustbin is here and they keep the dustbin next to that, means whatever the dust or carry bag next to the dustbin, they will keep it. So I request all of them, okay, owners to tenants, to inform the tenants, owners to inform the mates, and tenants to inform the mates, just to follow the simple procedure, like whenever they are carrying the dust, to put it in the dustbin and lock it. Because it's not only the D block what I am seeing, it's around the AQUALILY, even near the villa side or C block or E block, wherever we are going it. So we just need to take these simple steps. that because from WhatsApp messages, we keep reminding them to do this process, but it's a request to all of them just to follow this process and lock it. Because it is very much necessary for the community to have a very much greenery, and going forward, it will be a lovely environment to all of us on breathing and all everything, because we see elders, and I do get requests like, you know, to on these and all, because day by day elderly people are also coming inside AQUALILY, and it's a sign of greenery that many even relatives or whoever are coming up, they're showing as like, you know, sometimes they're showing some like Kodaikanal or whatever the place, like, see, this is the place where we are living. But next to that, if we see some dustbins that is flowing up, then that greenery will go off. So it's a request to all of them. That is what I see. It's a basic necessity and involvement that comes from the owner's mindset, or everybody's mindset, not only owners. Okay? Thank you.
Good evening to all. What about the bylaw committee? And one more question. What about empowered committee recommendations? Two questions. Another one is, while we crossing boom barrier, sometimes, most of the times, not working. Whether we need boom barriers? One, just check it. And the E-blocks, most of the time, lift also not working. We are paying huge maintenance. E-block lifts. Please note it. Yes, sir. Lifts. Yeah, most of them not working. And you can see near E1, E2, E3, the junction areas are always waterlogging is there. Main time I informed to association estate manager, but till now problem was not solved. So another one is, actually we are having lot of events like tennis court. We are having tennis court, badminton court, everything, sir. But for cricket, you know, now cricket is India's one of the favorite game. But there is no place for playing here. So when I was in sports secretary, we find one place nearby badminton court. Why we not think about this one, sir? Because now children are playing
I was
cricket.
not aware of this, but if we can, we'll definitely reconsider it, see the feasibility, like where we can have that cricket
Okay,
ground.
sir.
Yeah.
And we need one more, sir. Indoor badminton court. Any possibilities, sir?
I mean, these are all very good suggestions, but we will definitely see the feasibility of it, the cost, you know, where we are going to do that. All this needs to be thought about. I mean, I am with you. I want a cricket ground as well, but you know, it's a community, and we need everybody to agree. So we'll definitely think about that, but I cannot promise you anything on that. That's all I would say. Thanks.
Sports committee more, enthusiastic, because we have cultural committee, but there is no such competitions or anything for sports, which is very much required, and I feel the unity will be much more when the kids and elders start playing together.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
This is in the longest subject discussed here, the children's play area. So the benefit everyone, I want to explain how this actually works. So I'm in the PPC committee now, which is involved in this purchase of so many things, right? So there is a technical deliberation where we select the supplier, okay? Suppliers being far and few is one thing, so we reached out, and we got suppliers from all over India now. Second thing is the cost deliberation. Now, when something that is costing about 8 or 10 lakhs is a decision to be taken by one person with so many ambiguities, because there is an absence of an expertise in this matter who can tell us that this is what is the right thing to do, right? So, whenever we are faced with such an ambiguous situation, I want to suggest to the committee to call for a vote in such this thing, where there are people who with small children who want this badly. There are people like me with children out of here who don't care about it, being very, very practical about it. So if we can form, whenever a decision is met with so much of ambiguity, if there is a consensus of some 100 people, the decision gets ratified. Because the people who question, one person is scared to take the decision because of the retribution. That, have you checked everything before? I knew something, did you know? So this is the ambiguity I have faced whenever they ask me to give approval for certain cases. This is the ambiguity I have faced. But being a businessman, I have done so many things. I simply take the decision within the knowledge that I have, and having checked all other things, I simply take the decision. But something like play area or something, 10 lakhs involvement, 10, 15 lakhs, now it has come to some 3.5, 4 lakhs. But whether the material is good or not, whether it is going to work for 1 year, like I'm going to be adding to what Mohan said earlier. So it is very important if in such ambiguous situation, a consensus is formed instead of taking approval from a single person.
So Thanks, Bhaskar, and nice having you in the EC. Thank you. Thanks, and nice having you in the EC. Thank you. I think we'll answer. No, we need to answer. I think we need to answer something. And then going to get
Yeah, Shakti. Regarding the Empowered Committee and the Bylaw Review Committee, we are waiting for the rules to be notified. The new Act rules, we are expecting it soon. As soon as the rules are notified, we will start with it.
So sorry, I think we are going out of the time. Sorry. You have anything to? Okay, fine. Okay. So I will deliver my word of thanks. So thanks for all the people who attended today's meeting, and hopefully we will. Sorry, sir. Solunga, sir.
Regarding the meanness of monkeys, one of my friend gave me a good point. Means you can have a cabin or something to put all the garbages and other things, so that monkey cannot enter inside.
Okay.
And the people can go inside and keep inside. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Sure.
So
We'll take care of it.
I think it's a good suggestion.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Thank you. So thank you, one and all. I think most of the people have left. Yeah. Yeah, please.
Last year.
I'm not aware of it. If you could throw some light, like what is it we are planning, what is that aspect that we are reviewing and so on?
No, actually, we have to make some changes to the bylaws according to the new act. So we formed, I think 1 year back, we formed the committee. Even Pradeep was supposed to be part of the committee. Right?
I am not aware of.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
So
because we were waiting for the rules to be notified. Act is already enacted, but the rules are yet to be notified, and we thought we'll meet after that and discuss that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think I'm just closing down. Thank you very much.